Just how exciting is it to have Josh Palmer back out there practice?
Yeah, good, Daniel. Good to get him out there, and no timeline, but just it's a good sign for him being out there, getting to practice a little bit today.
Do you see Corey playing again this year? Do you see Corey playing again this year?
I don't think so.
Just with JT coming back, what are you sort of envisioning for his role? I know you kind of settled on a group there in the secondary. Is JT more going to be in line for special team snaps at this point? Sort of what are you envisioning?
Yeah, I think in competition with all those guys. I mean, we've been working with them now for 2 years, and I think all those guys are competing for snaps. So I think that competition remains open, and it's good to have him back. It's been good to get him out there on the practice field, and we'll see where it goes.
How tough is it to game plan going up against Patrick Surtain and Justin Simmons?
Yeah, those two guys are two of the best at their position in the league, and they've been playing together for a long time as well. And you add Kareem in there as well. They've just played a lot of football together, so there's a lot of trust and confidence, and they've been well trained, and so definitely have a lot of respect for both those guys.
With Lombardi as OC in Denver now, you see any similarities in what Denver's running and maybe what you guys ran the past couple of years?
Yeah, definitely.
Just defensively for them, obviously, I just asked Justin this, but they kind of an interesting story arc with their defense, just giving up 70 in one game and sort of how they've responded to that. Mm-hmm. They've kind of been thriving off of turnovers in this recent stretch. You talk about illusions sometimes. Like, how real is what they're doing defensively in terms of just how many turnovers they're forcing, and how do you sort of approach game planning for them when they had, obviously, that game on tape, but then have responded in a certain way?
They've got a lot of good defensive players that have been well-trained for a long time, that have been playing in a high-level system, since 2019. So they've played a lot together. They've been, they were an elite unit last year, and many of those guys are still there. So I think, just a tough game early, but it's a very, very good defense, and not an accident that they've been playing very well. A lot of good players on all three levels, and got a lot of respect for them.
JK was AFC Special Teams Player of the Week. We talked about him a lot Sunday, but how much has that meant to have that kind of consistent performance throughout this season?
Well, you said the word consistent, and from a field position standpoint, it's been invaluable for our team this year. And in that last football game, I think was the catalyst to us winning the football game. So, made some history, some Chargers history, and then to be recognized, by the AFC, I think is well deserving, and we're going to need that down the stretch. But I think it's also a team award. It's also a unit award. We talked about Josh Harris after the game, and that group of gunners. I think our gunners, that group of 4 or 5 guys that's been doing it the whole year, I think they've been playing well, and then our core protection unit covering as well. So it's a team effort, but definitely happy with JK and where his progress.
How much does his hang time aid with a young group of gunners and stuff to get down there and help with coverage?
Invaluable. I think that aspect of it just buys everybody more time, and you can see that I think just like the accuracy of a quarterback helps all skill players. The hang time of a punter is going to help his supporting cast. So JK, that's a real talent of his that he has. So again, we're going to have to continue to improve on that unit, continue for it to be a strength for us.
How much do you think not having Corey has impacted the offense?
Well, I think anytime you have a star player, one of the top players at his position, it's going to have an impact. But with that said, I think Will Clapp has been really, really, really solid for us. And I think he's been one of our most consistent performers on our whole team, but definitely on our offense. So I think Will's been fantastic for us. And, we miss Corey a lot, but he's still with us. And, I think that relationship between him and Will really helps. And then Justin, ultimately having confidence in Will and their relationship, really important. Will's got a ton of experience. And, since he's played for us, he's been really, really solid.
How would you assess the play of your offensive line overall this season?
I think it's been inconsistent. And I think we've been good in spurts. And I think that we've shown quality run and pass, but it's been inconsistent. But it's a good group of guys. They're working hard. And, I think it's fair to say that our best football is in front of us.
Why do you feel?
Go ahead.
Just to follow up on that, that was obviously a unit you were extremely excited about coming in the season, moving Zion over the left, getting Rashawn back, re-signing Trey. Obviously, Corey going out is going to have an impact on it. But just why do you feel like maybe you've had some more inconsistency from those other positions from guys that maybe you were pretty excited about coming into this season?
Yeah, I think sometimes it just takes time with the unit. There's different factors at play. You know, some guys being nicked up, and just I think not quite. You win a couple more of these games, I think we would feel differently, certainly about the group. But it's the right group to be coaching. I think again, our best football is out there, and that's what our focus has been on, is on the improvement. And that group it's a close group of guys. And so I know that they're going to make the improvements on the field. And like I said, I think it's a couple little things. It's a couple little things within that group. But I really like coaching them. And, we got a really good opportunity this week versus Denver.
How much, you've been asked about this a bunch with the run game, but, how frustrating has it been? You talked about last season kind of marrying the passing game and the running game. How frustrating has it been that now, 13 or 12 games in, you guys still haven't seemed to be able to do that?
I think we've been able to do it in spurts. I think what's frustrating is that we've done it. We just haven't done it consistently. I think that's probably where the frustration is. It'd be one thing if I haven't seen it at all, then I think you would be frustrated and upset and feeling it a little bit differently. But we've shown that we've been able to run the football, and I think again it's not just about the offensive line. It's not just about the runners. It's about all 11 guys and coaching included, and it's just finding that formula. And I said it a couple weeks ago. There's just some aspects of your team that take longer than others in a season. There's just some aspects that way. But we still have, a bunch of games in front of us, and we got a good opportunity this week, and we're working hard at it.
Where do you look at when you say you've seen it? Where do you look at? Is it like the Miami game, or is it where do you look at when you say I've seen it before? Where do you look at when you say that's encouraging you about the run game?
The Miami game would definitely be, one of the games that I felt like. I mean, that defense is really good. It's one of the most talented groups that we've played, and to do that in that game, I just felt like that was, we were at full strength in that game, and I thought you saw, what we can do as an offense in that game. And that's just one example, but I just felt like everybody in our group that played in that game was a big factor in our success. It wasn't just one group. It wasn't just because, we have the same running backs. And so, I think that, there's some things that happen along the way where, your identity shifts a little bit in terms of maybe what you thought you were to what you are now. And then all of a sudden you hit it. You kind of find that rhythm later on in the season, and away you go. And that's what we're after. We're after that. But like I said, we believe in these guys. We've done it with these guys this year. We've done it with these guys in the past. And, we just got to keep searching for it.
Go ahead.
Just with the running game, is there any thought to giving Josh Kelly more touches just to see if he can spark something, just considering the way things are going right now? Or are you going to stick with the same split there?
Yeah, Daniel, competition. Yeah, I think competition for carries is going to be something that you can see happening. And I think you've seen it on defense, competing for opportunities. So, like I said, when I keep searching, we're gonna keep exploring, making adjustments, so that we can find that rhythm that I've been talking about, and that's certainly one way to do it.
How do you evaluate the way Michael Davis has handled himself in this situation this season?
Like a pro. We've won a bunch of games with Vato out there, played high-level football with Vato out there, so we believe in him.
Just with Khalil, the way that he's played this year, how much of it is related to his health? Obviously, he was dealing with that foot thing through training camp, even managing into the season. How much of a factor is that in how he's played this season?
Well, what did he tell you? Did you ask him yet? Yeah. That's the simplest answer. I think because in his mind, and the proof is when he has been healthy, that's how he plays. So I know that when I was in Chicago in 2018, the only thing that held him back was a high ankle sprain. If he doesn't have a high ankle sprain, which he missed 2 games and they were kind of there for 2 others, that guy's slam dunk defensive player of the year. And then he had a couple nicks after we left. But when he's been healthy, he's shown he's one of the top players in the game. And you're just seeing, a guy that, there aren't very many players in the history of this game that play the way Khalil Mack does. They can impact the game, running the pass, and he is healthy. I think it's been a team effort around him to create opportunities. I think, coaching, playing, his teammates, but you take all that out of it, you just focus on Khalil. He's one of the rare players in the game, and that's how the rare players play. They play like he does.
We talk about benchmarks and milestones for players and everything. As a former linebackers coach, how important is it for 100 sacks? Because I think Khalil's like a half away.
It just puts you in that rare company. You know, you just look around and, you know, you saw with Keenan and the receiving company that he's in. But, you know, the company that you're in at 100, it's very, very few guys. And they're all kind of huddled up in a certain place in Canton, you know. And, you know, but to be Defensive Player of the Year and, you know, to be a first-team All-Pro with 3 different teams. And, you know, you guys saw, like, you know, he's one of 2 players in NFL history to have 12 sacks with 3+ teams. And when you're part of that type of company, then, you know, you just know what you're seeing. And then just, if you didn't know anything, if you just parachuted in and you watched him play the game, you know, there's very few people like him that are playing defense or offense in the NFL. And I've been fortunate to coach him, and I've been fortunate to witness it, you know, at 2 different places, and witness it from afar when he was, you know, with the Raiders. So, you know, but like he'll tell you, the most important thing to him is winning. And the fact that, you know, we won that last football game and he was a big part of it. That's what matters to him. That's what's always mattered to him. And, you know, that's why he's been so important for our organization to see, you know, that standard every day.